Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's just me tonight because people are sick or have to work or do other things. So you just get Cronus for tonight. Maybe I'll have somebody else join me tonight. I don't know yet, but we'll see. So I'll just be us for a while. I actually do have a question for all the listeners and viewers because I want to try to do something this year that we haven't done before, and I want to see if that's going to work out. So, sorry, I'm talking and I'm like doing the engineering at the same time. So, my speech pattern in the very beginning might be a little bit weird because I had to like click on things to make sure the podcast starts. And usually that's when someone else does the intro. So, listener of the week would be Bard, which is also a really cool character if you play RPGs. Sort of. Got to have high charisma for that. Hope he does, or him or her. And nobody's in the chat yet because I think that Old Ninja or somebody else said that we're not going to go live tonight. But obviously I am because we've missed a whole bunch of podcasts this year, probably the most you've ever missed in a year. And to me, that was sad. So I want to make sure we get something out before, the end of the year because Christmas is on what? Sunday? I guess we can get one more out because I think next Wednesday is still. Actually, no. If we look at the calendar. Yeah, we still had another one before the year ends. We have the 28th next Wednesday. But hey, still here, getting something out there. So a question that I'll have. Hey, my daughter is in the chat. She's the first in chat. How you doing? Glad you are here. Good to see you in the chat again. Maybe I'll send you an invite to the podcast, and we can chop it up for a little bit. What I wanted to say, hopefully more folks will join, is that I want to have a kind of like a what are the listeners' favorite clips from the show so far, and that way I can get a bunch of clips together and do like a best of show and just show a bunch of clips. Well, I think that'd be kind of cool because I started doing some clips earlier this year, but then I moved and a bunch of other stuff happened, so I haven't really been on top of them lately. Even though I have timestamps for my friend Devil Tank, which makes it way easier to do clips now, but I kind of fell off because I moved and I just didn't get back on it. And to be honest, this year, motivation to do anything has been kind of difficult for me because I've gone through a lot of stuff this year. But I want to get back on top of that and start making clips again. And then I think having like a best of clips would be kind of cool. And we need to get back to doing the Golden Eggplant Awards as well. I think that would be neat. We missed last year's obviously, but we need to do this year's. Like a lot of stuff happened this year that was really cool, and a lot of stuff to vote on, especially video game of the year. I'm actually really curious to see what our listeners would think of what is the game of the year this year. Is it going to be God of War Ragnarok or Elden Ring, which was like the big debate for most of the gaming community. For me, I'm solely on the side of God of War Ragnarok. I did play a little bit of Elden Ring, but it just didn't grab me the same way that God of War Ragnarok did. So but, Elden Ring, they got a bunch of accolades this year. They got Game of the Year for, I think, the vast majority of the awards for video games for Game of the Year. So that's pretty neat. And it did look like the best From Software game that I've played. Because usually the games is kind of lame. Well, not lame. It's just they're to me they're like overly hard. Maybe I just didn't get a chance. Well, this is weird too because I play games on hard mode. So like, why can't I play this game that's hard? Which is odd. I think it's for me when I try to play Bloodborne, everything was so goddamn slow, and I can't stand the overly complicated menu systems, and that always just kind of irked me. So even though God of War was a slower game too, especially compared to the older games, I went back and started to play God of War 3 Remastered, and man, I forgot about how good those games were. There's the original God of War games were so good, but they're just on a different level. Or a different kind of good, and it's really nostalgic for me of like remembering when I was like a younger guy playing these games, and it's weird getting used to like the fixed camera again, and the combat is way different, and I forgot that you could technically block in those games, but they weren't as effective as in the new games. So that took me a while to get used to. So yeah, it's still been cool though. Like I started the game on hard, and I was like, holy crap, this game is really hard. Like I don't know if it's as hard as like the new God of War games. That's probably the thing though, is that I've been playing the new God of War games, and the mechanics are so different. Is that I'm expecting those mechanics in the old God of War games, and that makes it even harder. Because in the beginning of God of War 3, like the first thing you do is it's a goddamn boss battle. Like you got to beat a Poseidon, and yeah, like trying to like remember all those mechanics and like how to dodge and how to like learn all these, boss moves. It's pretty hard. We haven't played the game in probably I haven't played that game in probably 6, 7, 8 years, you know. But getting back into it has been fun to do. Hopefully I can beat it again and see how that goes. In the background, if you're watching the podcast, you notice that I move stuff around in the Infinity base. Oh yes, I am still here. Oh, you know what? I need to have somebody else here with me. So you know what? I'm just gonna put it in the chat. Here is the code to get into the live stream. So if you want to join, please join. Anybody that's in there, I think it's not many people in there right now, but if you want to join, feel free to join, and we can talk about whatever you want. Well, almost whatever you want. I mean, if you're like, if Ye joins, I don't want to talk about Nazis. So yeah, don't do that. Unless we're talking trash about zombies or talking trash about Nazis. Sorry for the pause. I'm drinking a very festive drink. I'm drinking eggnog from Costco, the Kirkland brand. And it has alcohol in it because you know me. It's a really good eggnog, by the way. If y'all haven't had the Kirkland brand eggnog from Costco, definitely not sponsored. I wish I was, or wish we were. It's definitely a tasty eggnog. It's funny because like when I first got this, I was like thinking about drinking it. I was like, somebody's gonna if anybody's ever seen Clockwork Orange, be like, is this guy getting high right now? That's a old reference. My daughter is trying to join, but she can't click the link. So I'll tell her that she can probably copy and paste that link, copy it, and then paste it somewhere else in your web browser. Yeah, I don't know why it's not clickable, but yeah, just copy it and then paste it somewhere else in your web browser, and it should work. But yeah, today I over the past couple of weeks, I think tomorrow, actually, sorry to rewind a little bit. Tomorrow marks the 2-month anniversary of my foot injury, which has been literally the worst injury that I've gotten in my entire life, which is crazy because it didn't hurt that bad. I mean, it hurt, but the recovery process, probably because I'm getting older, that's probably one of the things. It's been so long. Like I just got the okay to put more weight on it a couple of weeks ago, and so now I'm trying to get back into using the Peloton with 2 legs, and I bought a new bike, and I really want to ride that, but I want to make sure that my foot's okay to like really ride a bike. Riding a Peloton, a stationary bike with a messed up foot, and then riding an actual road bike, or I have a gravel bike. Are 2 different things, because I literally I don't want to stand. I don't want to get off of the seat and spin, because I don't know what my foot can support. My doctor did say don't cycle for now, which okay. I'm still I'm against his advice. Obviously, I'm still spinning, but the thing is that I have the shoes that I have. This is my terrible way to like justify what I'm doing with my foot, is that I have really good cycling shoes, and so the actual sole of the shoe is really stiff. And so the thing is with the injury that I have is that the flexion of your foot is the problem. So I have a Liz Frank injury, and basically I'm not supposed to like lifting my toes up and like there's actually like a joint in the mid part of your foot, and that's what's injured on my foot. And I literally can't do that when my foot is in the shoe. I can't do any sort of flexion with my foot up or down when I'm in the cycling shoe. So that's my one of my justifications, and the other one is that I don't come out of the saddle, and I'm only doing low impact rides. So I'm not like trying to like kill myself. Well, not kill myself. I'm not really pushing it on rides until today. I pushed it a little bit today. I rode an average of 20 miles per hour for 30 minutes, which is pretty pretty significant. Here we go. Here's my daughter, my lovely daughter, and you have you got to move your camera around because the light is like.
Hold on.
There you go. It's instantly better. Oh well, almost.
My bangs have been fighting me for days now.
So have mine. It's amazing. They lost the battle, obviously. They lost the battle.
Yeah, they never mind. I'm not gonna say that. That's mean.
How you been?
Overly exhausted all the time. How about you?
Well, I'm not that exhausted. I mean, I've been doing okay. Just dealing with this foot thing and trying to stay in shape still. So, yeah.
Yeah. I made an absolute like way too much cookie dough today, and I already regret it because it's for tomorrow.
Are you making? I mean, obviously you're making cookies, right?
Yeah, I a couple coworkers, well, a coworker and a coworker of mine's friend is making an obscene quantity of cookies tomorrow.
How many are you making? How many are you attempting to make?
There isn't a attempt number. It's just how many we feel like making.
Well, how many do you feel like making? I guess, you have a number, an estimate? You making 30, 50, 3,000? What's going on?
I'm aiming for around 100.
It's a lot of cookies.
Yeah, I could do more, but I also don't want to overwork the girls. So
Overwork the girls?
yeah, I have the two friends that are coming over are girls.
Oh, they're helping you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just make a shape and then put it in the oven. You know what I miss? Sorry, this is going to be nostalgic for both me and you. Is I miss hanging out with the Manas and doing
Snowball cookies.
no, not snowball cookies. I don't miss that. What I miss the most is making. Damn it! If they're listening, they're gonna be really mad at me for forgetting the word. God damn it! We used to make them every year with them, and now I forgot the word. This is embarrassing. You gotta give me a second here.
My phone because I keep getting an echo of like a solid minute and a half delay.
Oh, you gotta turn down the volume on that. That's like a typical radio thing, right? You gotta turn the volume.
I just turned off my phone.
What is the name of this thing? Oh my god, we used to make them every year with them.
What did it look like?
It's hard to say. Hold on, I'm looking. I'm literally googling Mexican food. This is how stupid I am right now. I'm looking up Mexican foods. Okay, whatever. I'll just agree. I'm gonna feel really dumb when I find it. It's not. Yeah, no. Tamales. God damn.
I'm thinking cookies. Yeah.
No, I'm not thinking cookies.
A bunch of tamales.
Yeah.
We actually. Hi. Mom and I actually just made some, and we tried our hand at making a sweet tamale. I haven't tried them, but evidently they taste pretty good.
All right, we're gonna have another person join, just so you know.
Yeah.
Warrior Fellas joining us once again.
Okay. Can you be quiet, please? Stop. You just pay attention. That's it. Okay, I'll give you
I'm pretty sure the listeners know that I hate cats, and yes, I don't like my daughter's cat either. Even though I never met it.
Yeah. He is wildly obnoxious. So.
Yeah,
he's also
the cats
a kid,
are.
So.
All right.
Yeah. As long as I give him attention, he won't say anything. So.
You can give dogs no attention; they're just fine.
I mean, usually he doesn't want any attention. It's only when I'm talking to someone else, kind of like kids.
Actually, until they're old. When dogs get old and they need all kinds of attention, Scrappy now needs all the attention. Or just shits everywhere. It's amazing. So, how have your holidays been? Oh, well, I mean, they're actually kind of. I'm just thinking about it. It's kind of shitty, but you can explain.
I mean, in what way do you think they're shitty?
Well, I mean, you went through a pretty significant thing pretty recently.
Oh yeah, the that
Yeah,
it really hasn't affected my life all that much.
that's great then. All right.
Yeah, it's. I think it was because we had taken my significant other and I had, or my ex at this point, had taken the break that it made the transition into it being, you know, we're not gonna try and make this work anymore a lot easier.
Yeah, breaks usually don't. They don't. They don't work out well usually.
Yeah, I knew that going into it. I was well aware of it. I just, sometimes they don't. Most of the time they do. And that break would definitely helped me see, or helped both of us see, where we wanted to go in the relationship, if it was to go anywhere at all. And we had both decided we didn't want it to go anywhere at all.
It's all good. This isn't Love Line. I'm not going to grill you on it. So yeah, I think anybody that's listening to this, we've all been there. You know, unless you married your high school sweetheart, in which case I feel fucking sorry for you. Honestly, I do.
I mean, the Menos are doing pretty good.
They are, but I still, still.
Yeah, that's like the 1 in a million, odds.
I think it's higher than 1 in a million.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. I've known quite a few people that have, married their high school sweetheart, and they're almost all shit shows.
That's
Some of them are still married, and it's still shit shows. So, well,
okay. You're gonna like hurt yourself doing that
and I'm not talking
because
about them, the Manas. I'm not talking about them. There's other people that I know. Yeah.
I figured as much. Okay, you're gonna eat bleach off my hands, so stop doing that.
Why is there bleach on your hands?
Uh, stop. Now I probably just have some residue from barkeeper's friend.
What
I'm
happened?
entirely sure it's bleach, but
What happened to your arm?
here,
Yeah, you got like
it's
Jesus.
just I am clumsy. You walk on my laptop and I throw you. Nope.
ASPCA is going to be calling you tomorrow. I'm just saying.
Go ahead. He won't leave the house. Trust. I've tried to get him to. No. It's a new part that I'm doing at work, and I swear, that's what I like about cats. You can throw them. And then you get to listen to that. But it's a new part at work, and usually it takes me a little bit with me doing a new part for
Let's
me
pause
to
real
figure
quick. I
out
need you
myself.
to remember what you're going to say. Can you explain what you do for a living?
I'm a welder.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now you can go ahead. I messed that up. I should have led with that.
And I'm a welder, and I was TIG welding a part, and with this part, at least to me, it's common sense. You don't spray a weld with water, or else it'll cause it to crack. Like anything that's like super hot, you don't put water on, or at least cold water. And I had been instructed to spray water on this part while it was still super hot. Like I just melted two pieces of metal together, kind of hot. And I leaned my arm too far down while trying to do another part of the weld, and just medium rared my arm.
All right.
Yeah, I left it alone for a couple days, and then it started peeling, and I figured that's probably not the greatest thing to keep open. So, yeah.
Yeah. Those are, it's just your skin, your largest organ on your body.
It's only my left arm. My right one's pretty solid, right? There's only two major burns on this arm, so I think it's pretty good.
All right. I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any burns on my arms or hands. I don't think so. Ever. Definitely have plenty of cuts and abrasions, though.
Yeah, I luckily when it comes to like cuts and stuff, I don't scar that easy. It's mostly burns that I scar.
I mean, it's normal to get scar from burns. So,
I mean, yeah,
and
but
also you're young, so unless you have something significant, like I have some scars from when I was a kid, but they were like pretty significant, you know, cuts or abrasions or whatever. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
I'm just thinking
I'm
about like
definitely
I was thinking about
clumsy.
my skin, and it's this is kind of a gross story, but I'll say it on the podcast. I don't really care. Um, because I had my broken foot. I had that injury on my foot, and I still do. I couldn't like wash my feet that well, especially both my feet, because like one, it's fucked up, or like do any sort of like exfoliation. So I got like some of those chemical like bag things that you put on your feet.
Oh God, and it looks like your whole foot fell off. Yeah,
Holy shit, those things are no joke. I looked like I just
yeah.
walked out of. I want to make this not fucked up. Um, like it was nuclear winter on my feet, and
It's
yeah, and I was just like, and it's still coming off, but like it's coming off in sheets of my
yep,
skin are coming off, and like but the skin underneath, oh man, and I'm like,
baby
oh,
soft.
yeah, I can like feel like it's things that have like temperatures to them again, and it's like I'm almost kind of ticklish on my feet now. It's like it's fucking great. It's not
I
all done
imagine
yet.
you walking over a pebble, and be like, "Oh, what's that feeling? Was
Yeah,
that a tickle?"
for real. Yeah, like I don't want to show my trash can, but yeah, my trash can is like full of like skin from my feet, and I had to like because in my what I do, if you see in the background, the Peloton's right there, and like to like the right of it is my
Mhm.
sauna right now. And so what I'll do is I'll hop on the Peloton for like 30 minutes and then hop in the sauna for like 10 minutes or more. But when I hop in the sauna, I take my shoes off or my socks off. And so, but when I walk out, like just my skin would just like come off my fucking foot. So I had like I was like looking in my my office this morning. I was like, there's like skin everywhere on my floor. This is disgusting. Like, so I had to like come through and just like sweep all of my dead skin feet out of my office. And it was like so gross.
You could not commit a crime right now. It would be
No,
the
there's
worst
DNA
decision.
everywhere. Yeah, it's DNA in here everywhere. It's so gross. But honestly, it's the skin underneath now feels like so much better, and it's like
Yeah,
calluses are almost. I might do it one more time because I have like a sort of some buildup on one of my feet. But that stuff works. You just gotta just be prepared for the zombification of your feet when you do
yep.
that. Yeah. Have you done it before?
No, I've just heard horror stories.
It's worth it's honestly it's worth doing. It's kind of cool, but the main thing that sucks. Two things that suck. Obviously, losing the skin off your feet. It's gross. It looks gross. But also, you're not supposed to like peel the skin off your feet like
Nope.
when you're doing
You
it.
gotta let it fall off.
Yeah, you're supposed to let it. I mean, I didn't. It gets to a point to where it's like you have to kind of like tear a little bit of off because it's like
You're
when you can
supposed to
literally
cut it.
feel like flaps on your feet like moving around. It's like ugh, like what the this is gross. So
You're
you have to.
supposed to cut it.
Yeah, I didn't
But
do
ain't
that.
nobody got time for that. Nobody's
No.
gonna sit there with a pair of scissors to their feet. They're just gonna rip it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get that feeling of like back to burns, fresh burns right after a burn, and it starts to peel the skin right underneath it. Baby soft.
Yeah. It's like that. It is like that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because you actually asked to come on this podcast for a long time now. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, that's fine. Yes, I know who you are. What's going on?
You get
Warrior
that
fella, you need a light, bro.
Hey,
What's going
fresh
on?
burns after a burn, and it starts to peel the skin right underneath it.
Oh,
Baby soft.
you gotta mute the podcast, and then if you have a light behind your camera, turn on your light. Actually, it's funny. There we go. Um,
I will be right back.
Warrior fella, you have a light in your room?
oh yeah, it's coming from my TV. It's just finished watching a new movie, A Violent Night.
Oh, actually, I want to see that. That's the one with David Harbour, right?
David Harper and the legendary John Leguizamo.
Oh, I forgot he was in that because it's basically like Die Hard, right? But he's with Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's kind of a blend of Die Hard, the good one, and and Bad Santa.
I mean, Die Hard is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like the first one, honestly, I like them all, but I think the first one and then Die Hard with a Vengeance are my top two.
Yeah, I agree. It might I think my top two would be Vengeance and then the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Vengeance the stakes were high because it was a whole city.
yeah, and it's like the cast was like it was really good. The guy who played I forget his name now, the main villain, he was so good. Jeremy
Jeremy
Irons. Yeah, yeah, he was so good.
What are
Lily,
we
have
talking
you
about?
have you watched all the Die Hards?
Uh, I think I know one, maybe two.
Maybe two. It's all right. There's only so many action movies I can make you watch when you were a kid. So when my dad was alive and I used to go to his house, we used to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Like almost every he was a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and he had every single 007 movie up until that point when he was alive, and we used to watch those all the time. I used to love doing that.
I don't think I could get over his voice.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
That's not why you watched him. You watched him to issue death on everybody.
Yeah, but with a comical voice.
It doesn't matter. He was so amazing at killing people, and it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with Lily on this because even when
Yeah.
even when Arnold pretends to be angry at this at the lie because he was going to take it seriously. He's not one of the best actors ever, but he can put on performance and when doing stunts.
Yeah,
They made his voice into one of the directions on Waze.
did they really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of
His
this.
voice is like you gotta make a left, but in his voice. I'm not even gonna try and, replicate that, but
I can't do it
No.
either.
I'm not making that kind of fool out of myself tonight.
And I'll drive right and make a left on 18th Street.
Pretty much. That was pretty good.
You sounded like an older cowboy right there. Oh man, sorry, I'm getting over being a little bit sick too. Not COVID, but I got a 6-year-old, so whatever she gets, I get eventually. So how's your night going, man?
So, uh, yeah, it's going okay so far. Almost had a freaking accident because somebody in a little fancy Cadillac didn't learn how to be responsible. But I tried driving, and he or she tries to go in my lane without checking the blind spots, and it almost runs into me. But because I'm a responsible driver. I reacted quickly by hitting the brakes, and I was just trying to speed limit in. I keep my car well maintained, so my brake pads were well functioning. Got me to stop in time and honk my horn and make the effing a-hole. Notice that was about to crash into me, and then goes back into their own lane. And
It's amazing how many bad drivers there are, especially in California when it rains. Like even a little bit, it's like, come on, guys! Like, what are we doing here? Like, it amazes me in the Bay Area, especially because it's like it rains in the Bay Area, like normal sort of normal season-ish. But when you're down here in SoCal, it's even worse when like it rains and like people they just forget how to drive. They won't turn their lights on when it's like pouring rain. They won't. They'll drive either super slow or like way too fast, and it's like, come on, man. Like,
Snow.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen some crazy stuff. Driving in Michigan too, Lily. Like, I remember when I went out there like one time. I was coming out to see you, and like I literally watched like somebody go from like the left lane all the way into the left. I'm sorry, from the right lane all the way to the left shoulder, then back into with no traction, all the way back into the right lane, into the right shoulder, and then back into the middle, and they got traction again. I was just like, holy crap! Like, this is crazy. Just slow down.
We're on a severe weather advisory right now because we have a blizzard coming towards us. As in, it's supposed to drop to around, I think it's -30.
I don't understand. Blizzard's a company. They make really cool games. What is a Blizzard?
Far too much snow, and I can't even say unnatural because all it is natural. It's
Yeah.
an ungodly amount of snow, and I already agreed to come in on Friday and Saturday, and I don't know if my little PT piece of shit can handle it. I don't
You
know.
got
I don't know if
what's
it's gonna
wrong?
make it.
You have chains?
Huh?
You have chains?
No, I'm hoping they snow or they ice or not ice. They salt.
You don't have chains?
Never did.
If you live in an area that snows, you really need to get chains for your car, or you'll be sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to. Remember the drive through the mountains in California to go back to Michigan?
Yeah.
Did that with no chains in my PT piece of shit during a snowstorm. I don't know how I am alive right now, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I think Santa Claus is gonna gift you something for Christmas.
Chains.
Yeah.
I mean, technically I have chains, just not tire chains.
Well, this is the disturbing thing is like technically it's okay to drive without chains if you have snow tires, which I know you don't have. So yeah.
I also, you got to remember, my drive to and like I pretty much only drive to and from work. If I'm going anywhere else, I'm pretty much going with someone else, and I'm usually not driving. But I live like 5 miles away from my job, so
That's still no chains though. That's amazing.
Yeah, you cannot always get lucky, right? Practice precautions, because precautions are what will actually help you, man. Luck, that helps you so little.
Yeah.
I don't party anymore, so I got to get my excitement somewhere.
Look at this young person saying I don't party anymore.
I don't. I don't.
You're the only millennial who I've ever heard say that.
I don't even know. Are you even considered a millennial? Actually,
I'm Gen Z.
Yeah. You're like less than half
Well,
my age.
It's difficult to party now.
Because you don't have chains and it's snowing?
No.
See how they came back?
I don't go to parties by myself.
I mean, yeah, friends.
I mean, yeah, but my friends now aren't the party type of people.
Okay.
They're more of the every Saturday or every other Saturday night is D&D sessions
That's even better.
that I don't go to.
D&D.
I really want to, but I have not been invited.
You haven't been. Oh, invite yourself. It's all good.
No, this is her friend group, and they're very particular about who they let in.
Okay.
And I'm not about to mess that up for anybody.
Who is her friend group? Is it somebody else? You said her friend group?
Yeah, my friend who plays D&D.
Okay.
Yeah, she's awesome, and she's like she builds her own character, like whole storyline. She's not the DM, but she builds her own storylines that's like offset from what's going on from the rest of the campaign, and she builds campaigns just for fun because she's not a DM, so she doesn't really have control over campaigns and what they do on campaigns.
She should be a DM. Or at least help. You know, she can at least build those. I forget what they're called, but you can build like stories and stuff. Wish Matt was on here. He plays D&D still.
Yeah, and she builds like little figurines and stuff to match characters because every campaign she has a different character, and she just started a new campaign. And like, I try really hard sometimes to like really focus on what she's saying, and it's really cool. And 99% of the time I do focus, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, you don't play the game, so yeah, it's normal.
She's like, oh yeah, and then there's this dragon mage, and I'm like, what the fuck is a dragon mage? But it's already been the third time of me asking, what is that? So I feel bad asking again.
I thought you were trying to get into D&D for a while. Remember this?
Yeah, but you kind of can't play D&D with yourself, and she's the only friend that I have that plays D&D, and I gotta sneeze.
play the online game, or they have games that'll explain stuff for you. But yeah,
There we go. Excuse me.
Warrior Fella, have you ever played D&D before?
Uh, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never played before, and I never knew about it until I began watching the Netflix series Stranger Things.
Oh wow, are you serious?
I kid you not.
We are of that age where that was like a thing. Like when we were growing up, I think we were on the same age. Um, they used to equate that to like the satanic cult. It was on the news.
Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was referenced in the current in the latest season of Stranger Things.
No, but that was
Yep.
that was a real thing though. Like back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like they used to like
Yeah.
literally they were scared that kids were entering the satanic cult with D&D. I remember this like really specifically because I played it a little bit when I was a kid. But it's all right. There's only so many nerd things you can do in life. You can't do them all.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah, okay. There are a lot of these nerd things you can't do without being judged.
I don't even care anymore. Especially, I mean,
Fuck 'em.
yeah, at this age, I don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, yeah, fuck them. Like,
Fuck 'em.
be the real you,
What is-
or do you?
I mean, you dressed up as you cosplay, so you already have that in mind. You don't really care, you know.
Yeah, I don't really care. Now, and when I came to cosplays as Star Wars fan, I was already aware of the racially charged backlash that Finn actor John Boyega received for
Yeah.
just yeah. And I didn't care. It's myself. I felt extra obligated to dress as his character, show support.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
As long as you have morals, it doesn't really fucking matter. Like, why should I care about what some random person says about what I'm doing or what I'm wearing?
I think those are like societal things. You know, everybody wants to be, in the majority group. But I think there's some cooler things on certain fringe sides, because I'm not going to say, because there's certain fringe sides that are kind of crazy, like the QAnon folks. But when you're doing things that aren't hurting anybody else,
Yeah, that's the moral aspect of it.
yeah, I think it's a cool thing to do. But I think there's like a lot of kids, even adults, like they don't do things because the majority of people they kind of poo poo on it. But it's like, if you're not hurting anybody else, like, do you?
Yeah.
You know.
I made a blanket, but it's not done yet.
Well, that's your quilted blanket. I'm sorry, your
it's
crocheted blanket. I'm
yes.
sorry, crocheted blanket.
Yes, it's really big. I made it way too long. Like,
I say this jokingly because I know what crocheting is. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, that was something else. When I was in like elementary school, I these two girls showed me how to crochet with my fingers. And I used to crochet like with my fingers with them like all the time. So yeah, I don't know how to do it now, but when I was a kid, it was all about it.
yeah, I finally figured out how to do more than just a chain. And today was a busy day after work. One of my coworkers, I didn't realize we were as close as we were, and I didn't think that we would be exchanging gifts until she gave me a gift, and I was like, oh, now I feel obligated to get you something.
Now you're that person. All right.
What?
It's all right.
I barely talked to her.
It's all good. You know what's funny is that I haven't sent you your Christmas present yet. I'm going to send it probably tomorrow. So hopefully it gets there in time. So if it's late, then it'll be worth it though.
Yours is on the way.
All right.
Either you or Kay's got to call me when you get it though, because nothing's labeled.
Okay. Warrior Fella, you got any plans for a Christmas day? Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, I do, and I don't celebrate Kwanzaa as much as I want to, but I try to celebrate both holidays. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's for yeah, that's for all these days. I'm lucky I can celebrate one of them because these coronavirus still is a serious problem, and now we're in a triple pandemic with RSV and monkeypox. So but I am going to celebrate in holiday season. It's doing it the way we're having this conversation go through our computers. The
Oh,
gatherings is still way too dangerous.
you gonna do a virtual thing?
Yeah.
That's good. I remember when when the pandemic was like really really bad. I did a virtual beer fest, and it was actually a lot of fun. I did it twice. Yeah, and it was that was a lot of fun.
The virtual beer fest was a lot of fun.
Oh
Huh?
yeah, yeah. It was crazy because like um you bought the beers online, they shipped them to you, and they had like a virtual thing where you would just drink all the beers together, and then like the doing the thing together was kind of cool. But then like they had an after party, and the after party was like the best part because it was basically just like a oh, you're getting your workout in right now. Oh, you got the Select Tech. Is that a Bowflex Select Tech right there?
Believe it.
I got some outside. Um, it was just like a video chat room with all the people that were drinking, and yeah, it was so much fun. I need to do it again because it was super cool.
I mean, you don't have to worry about how you get home.
No, yeah, because you're already there. You can get as drunk as
Exactly.
you want. Yeah,
If you get too drunk, start getting belligerent, all they're gonna do is kick you off. You don't have to get cops involved or anything.
I think that happened. Somebody got super drunk and they got booted. And then you know what happens? You just keep drinking, and then fall asleep drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. I think these virtual gatherings save, as they save lives, a lot more than we think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lily, I have a kind of a crazy question for you. This is actually something I was saving for a public question because it's something I was unaware of until like maybe a month or two ago.
Oh God, why am I scared?
Because I didn't grow up in this generation. It's a weird question, but it's either going to be a yes or a no, and then you can explain afterwards. Did you have a plan if there was a school shooting in your school, like what you would do?
Oh yeah,
What the fuck? This is like a real thing.
yeah. We had drills at least. I think it was twice a month, or not twice a month. Once every 2 months, we had drills.
Okay, so what was your plan? What was your school shooting plan? Like, what would you do?
We had to.
No, you
So,
specifically, because I know what they tell you were supposed to do. Like, what was your actual plan?
oh, like my actual plan?
Yeah.
God, this was high school. I'm not trying to die, so I'm not sticking out.
Okay. So you would just leave the place?
No, you can't really leave. There's no. Okay, so my school didn't really have windows, so there was no leaving. And all the windows that we did have, none of them opened. Probably
Huh.
because far too many kids tried to leave in the middle of class. But there wasn't really. I hate to say it, but I had no real intentions on being a hero.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm just
I don't. The best thing that I could do, at least if I was in a situation, I decided, you know what, I'm going to be a hero. I'm small. And I'm kind of quick. So that's like the best that I got going for me. I got a smaller target than everybody else. That was pretty much the best I had going for me.
hopefully this is eye opening to anybody that's older and my age. This was not a concern when we were growing up. Warrior fella, can you back me up on this? Like the school shooting thing, like it just wasn't.
Well, about school shootings, so even after the mass shooting at Columbine High School in Colorado, the schools did not execute any plans for to prep us if a school shooting would have happened on our campus. Just mourn for a few days or two and then move on. And I'm pretty sure it's happening today. It was said that well, there are many out there who are considering arming the school staff, and not enough. Not add to the school resource officers. I mean, having the teachers are armed with guns. It's just like the country just finds more and more ways of getting to mass shootings instead of actually resolving the issues.
So for me, I think Columbine happened when I was already out of high school. I'm just gonna make sure. I'm pretty sure it was in like '99 or 2000.
1999.
Yeah, yeah. I was in the Marine Corps at the time, and so for me, like when I had no idea that like kids. I was listening to a podcast recently where they were talking about school shootings and how they were asking school kids like, "What is your plan?" And like all these kids, like they had like an actual like plan on what they would do if there was a school shooting, like separate from what they were told to do. And I was like, wow, like, because for me, it was just like we had earthquake drills and shit like that, but we never prepared or even thought about like what if there was an active shooter in our schools. And I was
No, we
like,
got
really,
bomb threats.
what's up?
We got bomb threats all
But
the
yeah,
time.
but yeah, bomb threats are like they're what can you do about a bomb threat? You know, you either get blown up or you don't. So there's not really much you can do, right? But with a school shooter, it's something different. Where like somebody's actively going out there trying to kill people like themselves. And so like I was listening to this podcast and like kids had like different plans like what they would do, you know, if they were in that situation. And I was just like, man, this is like something I never had to even consider when I was a kid. I feel bad. And that's what the first thing that came to mind was like you. And I was just like, what would you have done? I never even thought about it. So yeah, it's crazy because I think the thing that one of the things that was weird about that is because I remember recently there was like this really weird conservative conspiracy theory about high schools and schools in general having a kitty litter in their schools for furries. And I was like, that doesn't even fucking sound right. That sounds really stupid. Like nobody, no
It's a
school would
thing.
have kitty
It's a
litter
thing.
for furries. It's not a
It's
thing.
a,
No.
it is a,
Do you know what the kitty litter is for?
yep, it's a thing.
What's the kitty litter for?
The same thing a cat would use it for.
Yes. And most
It's a
older people don't know that.
yeah. We
It's
I
for, hold
remember
on, Warrior Fellow, if you're wondering like what we're talking about, it's literally for if there's an active shooter in your school and you can't get to a bathroom, they have kitty litter in like their emergency kit so the kids can use the bathroom in the room they're stuck in. It has nothing to do with furries. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It has everything to do with school shootings. And it's part of their emergency plan.
I remember when I was in middle school. Not necessarily school shootings, but there was a lot of instances like I don't know if it's just because I experienced it, but we had a lot of knives in the school. Like
That
way too many kids had knives in middle school. And there was a girl who had befriended one of the popular girls and then tried to stab her in the bathroom.
Wow.
She got suspended for the rest, or she got suspended for 2 months. And then there was a kid.
Hold on. Can you just pause real quick? She got suspended for trying to stab somebody?
Yeah. Oh wait, I missed a part. And then proceeded to stab herself.
And she only got suspended?
Yeah. I'm not done. I think it was June or not June. It had to have been early spring. There was a kid who had knives at home. His parents knew he had knives at home. Parents didn't really care. His little sister had thrown one of his knives in his backpack, and at the end of the day, he went to go open his backpack, and the knife fell out, and he got suspended for the rest of the semester. But not the chick who tried to stab someone in the bathroom and ended up hurting herself, but the guy who a knife fell out of his backpack.
All right.
Well, okay, so someone committed attempted murder and but does not even get charged for it, just 2 months suspension. But somebody got a longer suspension just for
Carrying
a knife falling out of his bag. Well,
we had protests at our high school. There was this kid, sweetest kid on the planet, like nicest kid ever. He had gone to Detroit for, I think he needed to pick something up, and wrong place, wrong time, got shot 3 times in the arm.
Oh man.
and the school would not let him return. My high school would not let him return back to school or graduate and like walk down the or walk with everybody else in his grade because they thought that he was affiliated with some sort of gang and they didn't want it to be followed back to their school. So we had the news, we had like in school protests that turned into out of school protests. It didn't matter. We had tried everything. I remember watching those protests outside of my metals class. Like I'm holding a ball of like a flamethrower, just like staring outside, watching all these protests go on for this kid that I don't even know. He didn't even do anything wrong. He was just wrong place, wrong time. He's the one who got shot 3 times. And whoever sutured him butchered that because it was a train wreck on his arm. And he wasn't allowed to return back to school. He wasn't allowed back on campus.
It's what they call it, blame the victim culture. It's,
Yeah. They just assumed he was a part of a gang when he very, very, if they would have taken the 20 minutes to talk to this kid, they would have known that he would never have been that kind of person. He was a sweetheart. Like, I don't even think he could have hurt a fly.
yeah, so many things still have not changed, and education, both the educational and judicial systems are pathetic, man.
They really, I mean, yeah, they need to be a whole lot better. I mean, because I know when I was in, things have changed since I was in high school, but yeah, back when I was in, it was pretty terrible too. I mean, I didn't really even care about school like really at all because it seemed like the teachers at the time. Oh, I only had certain teachers that seemed like they actually cared, and yeah, that was a problem. And now you have to deal with like all these other issues with like violence and gun, especially gun violence, and it's just like I never had to deal with gun violence in school. Well, sort of, not to the extent of like today. Like today, I'm like actually worried about, if something happens at like, my youngest daughter's school. Even when you were in school, Lily, it was a slight worry, but now it's even magnified because it's like there's shootings like all the time now. It's like almost on a daily basis. There's like some sort of mass shooting in America, and like a lot of people are seeming to target schools, and it's fucked up that this is the place we live in today.
One of my bigger questions is why schools?
Because they're not defended, so it's easy target.
I mean, there's a lot of other places that would be easy targets as well. Why specifically kids?
Name a different target that's kids can't defend themselves like at all. They're not gonna have firearms. They're not gonna have weapons. That they can't fight. Like there's really no easier target if you want to kill anything, any human, than a school.
I don't know.
I mean, you can go to a mall, but there's adults there. They could be armed.
I mean, yeah. I guess I don't have the mind of a mass shooter because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I don't have a mind of a mass shooter, but I have a mind of like.
That wasn't what I was.
No. I have the mind of like seeing weaknesses in certain things, and it's like it's definitely like it's a soft target because they continue to not harden the defenses, and also we're not addressing the actual issue of like firearms in America, which it's very controversial to say, but it's like at this point in time in America, it's like there's really very few arguments that you can make to me. Especially when you have people that are legally buying these firearms and then going and killing people. It's like you're losing me with like the whole, it's only like the bad guys. It's like, it's only people with illegal firearms. It's like, no, we've had a string of mass shootings in America where people have legally bought these firearms and they're going and killing people, including children. So it's like you're losing me with that argument. So I think there needs to be a more stringent, and you know me, like I love shooting, but there needs to be a way that we can get these weapons out of the hands of people that are potentially fucking maniacs, because it's happening more and more now. And I think that people that are these pro Second Amendment, no matter what, they're losing the plot point here of like these people that are legally buying these things that are supposed to be like good citizens, they're still going out and killing people. So it's like we need to tighten this up, or they're gonna end up taking like everybody's guns, or I don't know. There needs to be a better solution to this issue, and I think that just throwing your hands up in the air and be like, oh, well, I got my gun, and I'm not gonna kill anybody, but it's like people that literally pass the same background check as you are going and killing people, and if you don't see that as an issue, then you're missing the point.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I live in Michigan, so good luck trying to tell literally anybody here that you're gonna have to tighten literally anything when it comes to gun laws.
Man, I think eventually. I mean, go ahead, or worry fellow.
Oh yeah. I mean, you live in the same state where 2 years ago, a small group of anarchists armed with guns that were planning to kidnap and murder your government. Yeah, just because.
By the way, she won the election.
Yeah.
It was that Tudor Dixon. So Tudor Dixon, all of her campaign ads was just about banning abortion. So I don't know how anybody thought that she was going to actually. I live in Michigan. Never mind.
What are your thoughts on so? I mean, you're a whole ass woman now. What are your thoughts on the abortion thing?
Didn't we discuss this when the last time I was on the podcast?
That was a while back. Did we?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right.
I can reiterate. Don't be how do I put this in a similar fashion as to I'm trying to remember how I said it last time to where it wasn't extremely offensive. Just because you don't have a uterus, you don't have the reproductive organs that are required to make. I mean, it takes two reproductive organs.
What about the women that are anti-abortion? That's the weirdest thing to me.
That makes no fucking sense to me.
I don't get that. Yeah.
I don't know. She's like the campaign ads for Tudor Dixon was we need to stop letting people kill American babies. It was like they're not babies. They have not exited yet. They're not developed. They're not. They're a clump of cells that have absolutely nothing. There's nothing to them yet.
Well, I think at some point in time, even prior to, I understand there's a certain argument that is valid to me. At some point in time, even inside the womb, a baby can exist outside the womb, right? Even before they're born.
Yeah, true.
And so I think that there needs to be like a cutoff. I get that, but it also, for me, it's like the cutoff is also kind of murky because like if it's a viable pregnancy or not. Like if you have a baby inside, this is me as a man speaking. All right, if you have a baby inside of you that's not going to be viable or not going to survive outside your womb, then like what do you do? And I think that's like what most people don't even think about when it comes to like late term abortions, which sounds terrible, but also like if the potential baby wasn't going to survive anyway, why would you make somebody go through that? Like that's why they lose me.
So miscarriages suck. They're awful. It takes a tremendous toll on your body. You feel like shit for a very long time. And if you don't get it taken care of, like an abortion or getting the don't say that. Now no longer living organism inside of your body, if that doesn't get taken out or taken care of, it will eat you out from the inside. Not metaphorical, literal. All of that dying bacteria and things that are trying to consume the now dead fetus, it starts attacking living fetus, or not living fetus, living tissue. If you don't get a miscarriage, if a miscarriage doesn't pass or a non-viable pregnancy doesn't pass in any form, it will kill you. It will destroy you from the inside out.
Sure, we got a wardrobe change.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just saw the trailer for the upcoming Miles Morales Spider-Man movie. And I felt right to wear this for tonight's podcast.
We'll talk about that for in a second because my youngest. Oh, I'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, go ahead, finish your thought, Lily. Then we'll talk about Miles Morales.
It's just it.
This is weird segue.
A lot of people don't like. They don't think about what happens when, at least from that side of that political side of abortions. They never think about what happens when a, a pregnancy isn't viable. And for a lot of people, they don't even. I know there are. How do I put this? I've had a miscarriage. That shit sucks.
You okay?
And for a lot of people, they don't even know that they're pregnant until they've had the miscarriage, like me. And that shit takes a toll on you. And it just, nope, that side of the spectrum never sees that. Or at least not that they never see it, is they don't ever acknowledge it.
Well, I think that when it comes to like gender specific issues, that it should. I don't know why the other gender's even voting on it. Like honestly, like I don't really get it. Like I'm gonna when I vote for pro-choice, because I literally have no skin in the game. Like well, obviously I have daughters and I live with women, but it's just like that's not. I shouldn't be able to like tell you what to do. And so when I vote for pro-choice, is like I expect the person that's actually affecting to like vote the way they want to vote and do whatever they want to do with their body. And that's how I look at like every single other issue. Like when it comes to transgender shit or like gay rights or anything like that, if I don't have any sort of like skin in the game, it's either my first thing is give them equal rights. Second thing is if it doesn't directly affect me, then let the person that it does affect make their own fucking choice.
Yeah, I think that's what people or that side gets confused about, is that it's not pro-abortion. It's not every baby gets aborted. It's a choice. You fight so much for the freedom of America. Part of the freedom, or part of America being free, is free to make your own fucking choice. Why are you trying to strip that freedom out of over half of the American population?
Well, I can explain that on a different podcast. Not this one. So, yeah, it's pretty messed up. All right, and me and you, we gotta talk off the podcast. Yeah, that's pretty it's pretty messed up. Weird segue, but because Warrior Fellow is wearing a Miles Morales Spider-Man shirt, I guess I'm doing the news thing, where like they literally change it from like a really dark subject to something way more lighter.
You gotta talk about the scooter boy.
On to the weather. So you just watched the Into the Spider-Verse trailer just now?
It's about a day or two ago. I really like what I saw. The animation and maintain the continuity. Plus, I think that delved a little more into Miles' relationship with his mother. We saw, like in the first one, saw how strong a bond he had with his father, and now we're going to see how much of a bond he has with his mother, and plus all these like hundreds of thousands of other Spideys that come from other universes, and there's even. I had to look at it multiple times. There was one Spidey whom I thought was Misty Knight. Yeah, I seen the trailer for this. Right, it's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one is a black woman with full head of hair.
There was some
It
controversy
wore
about her though, because it was
black.
supposed to be like a different, either a different ethnicity or I think it was different ethnicity. Like they ethnically swapped her, but I don't know who it's supposed to be to begin with. So
No, yeah, because if you think about Spider Woman, then think about the cartoon that's on Disney Plus, one from I think 1970s or 80s, titled Spider Woman, and she was a traditionally white character, but it in the sense that this woman in the Miles Morales sequel is Spider Woman, just of a different ethnicity. But honestly, I thought that was Misty Knight because the kind of looked like. Because the way she looked, it was kind of similar to one I saw in the Sam Wilson Captain America comics.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who she was supposed to be when I first watched it. I was like, I was amazed by the trailer as well. What's cool to me is that when with my youngest daughter, her Spider Man is Miles Morales. So when she sees Peter Parker, that she understands that that's a Spider Man, but that's not her Spider Man.
It's not my Spider-Man.
Because she used, yeah, because she used
Right.
to watch, she watched goddamn Into the Spider Verse so many fucking times, um, and I love watching it every single time. And
I tried to see that every week when it was originally out.
yeah,
I mean, I loved it, man.
yeah, it was such a great movie. Like for me, it came out of nowhere because I was just like, it was cool to like. It didn't click for me like it was going to be a great animated movie because, and it actually changed my whole mind about having live action, comic movies. Like we don't need to do this. Like honestly, I enjoyed Into the Spider Verse more than I think like 95% of the MCU movies, and I like the MCU movies. Don't get me wrong, but like seeing like the whole comic book effects in that movie was like something that you miss in live action. You don't get to see the pows and
Yeah.
the words over the heads and like the thought bubbles, the speech bubbles, and all that stuff. And like you miss that when it comes to live because it looks silly if it's live action, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, but
it's like does that's just so weird as a live action. It's just doesn't makes a kind of little no sense. It was just a movie, but they don't try don't try very hard to put as much authenticity into it as usual. And I'm talking about seems like I'm talking about the Warner Brothers DC movies,
Oh God.
the
yeah.
live action. But, yeah,
Well,
you said that they, of course you said that we don't always need live action ones. Because, they can also invest in animation because they got room to do a whole lot more to do it right. And it goes that DC Warner Bros. Ought to consider that because their animated ones are most of the animated ones are done so much better than most of their live action ones.
you talking about DC? Yeah, 100% with DC. Like almost all like there's a few DC movies that are pretty that are I would consider good. The DC animated movie or the DC EU, the live action ones that are good. But that goes back to like the Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan days, right? Those were good movies in my opinion. But other than that, like the rest of them, and like the ones like the first Batman, the first and second Batman in like the '90s with what's that guy's name? God damn it.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah, yeah, those were decent too. I gotta go back and rewatch them. I'm having nostalgia right here, but those were okay. I remember watching them to begin with, but the animated movies have been like hit after hit after hit. Like I haven't watched a bad one. Um, I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched the vast majority of them, and they've all been at least good. But these latest DCU movies have been like they've been so fucking trash, and people got so mad about James Gunn, kind of killing the DCU. But it's like, I mean, look at what he's left with right now. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984, which are 84, whatever. I didn't think was bad, but I can understand people didn't like it. All right,
It's
Um,
mid at best, in my opinion.
yeah, okay, that's fair. Aquaman was okay. The Batman Superman things, I didn't like any of those. With Yeah, I didn't like Justice League at all. Now they're coming out with the Flash, which is full of fucking. I mean, Ezra Miller has been pretty much. It's a toxic franchise at this point. Even before it came out, I don't know why they don't just trash the movie. Just trash the movie.
Yeah, just stretch me because they scrapped a Batgirl movie. I don't know why not do the same to a Flash movie because
Nobody's gonna watch it.
it's
Why is they?
not a lot of people going to show because Ezra Miller is out there wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I don't. And so yeah, I'm with James Gunn for like starting over fresh. I'm sad that Henry Cavill won't be Superman anymore, but also he's gonna make a live action, Warhammer 40,000. So that's a win because that's something that most people don't even know about.
So, somewhat speaking on Ezra Miller, have you guys seen We Don't Talk About Kevin?
See, we don't talk about Bruno. What are you talking about? Superman Kanto?
No, I actually haven't seen it.
No, you haven't watched Encanto?
No,
What's wrong with you, young adult?
no, the movie We Don't Talk About Kevin. Have you guys seen it?
I've heard about it, but no, I've never seen it. Have you, Warrior Fella?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
I'm a little confused. So what's the title?
We don't talk about Kevin.
Never heard of it.
It stars Ezra Miller, and it's embodied Ezra Miller. It's like he got into character to play Kevin in We Don't Talk About Kevin and just never left it. Like he's like, this is my new personality now.
This came out in 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the movie's not great.
No, we need the name of the movie is actually called We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Oh, it is We Need to Talk About Kevin?
Yeah.
I don't even know how many times I typed in We Don't Talk About Kevin into things and that just popped up.
Oh no, I did the same thing and it corrected. It said I typed in We Don't Talk About Kevin and the movie that came up is We Need to Talk About Kevin.
So it's a pretty messed up movie, which actually kind of, brings together every topic we've talked about today. It's about this kid, Kevin, who's a sociopath. And the entire movie, we know that he's done something. We just don't know what. But his mom is trying to figure out how to go through life knowing that Kevin hates her. And after he does what he does, trying to cope with everybody else basically treating her like a piece of human garbage because of what Kevin did. And it embodies Ezra. Except somehow less.
I am definitely not going to watch that movie because I don't want him to get royalties. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agreed. And Ezra Miller, he used to be my celebrity follower on my Instagram page. I like whatever he posts, he liked my right posts, and we would trade comments. A comment to say about his post, he replied to mine, and he seemed like somebody who actually was into comics and or somebody who was about to be casted into the DC universe and did his research on the DC comics and
did his research on how to be a villain.
I think he's gonna be the Reverse Flash. I think.
I don't think Reverse Flash is bad enough.
Well, if he's trying to, if that movie you're talking about kind of, let's say if it did lead to him acting the way he is now, maybe he tries to be that much of a method actor as a Flash, I wasn't surprised if he hurt, injured himself, or died trying to run through a wall, or if he was cast as Superman and he would have a George Reeves moment and actually would put on a Superman suit and try to fly off of a building.
Yeah, he might. He seems that type of dude. I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit. Have either of you watched a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I've heard.
Yes, yeah,
You have?
Yeah.
one of the best of this year.
Yes, it really is. Hold on, Lily, did you watch it?
No, I have not.
All right, so everybody listen to this podcast. You can either just stop listening to this podcast right now, just fucking go watch the movie. All right, just go watch the movie.
It's available on Hulu.
Yeah, that's I watched it on Hulu. Yeah, it is literally my favorite movie of the year. This is even with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Movie was amazing, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was so much. It was like the most fun I've had watching a movie in a long time. In a long time, it's so much fun.
You saw it in the theaters, did you?
What's up?
Did you see it in the theaters?
No, I just watched it literally like maybe 3 days ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I watched it when it first came out, but not in the theater. That I rented it on one of those streaming sites that were charging a rental fee. Well, I checked it out and oh man, I enjoyed it so much. It was unique. It was gripping and had heart. It had style and substance. Good acting and.
Yeah, and good action too. I was just like, it had everything that most people want to see in a movie. Everything, everywhere, all at once. I'm just saying, it's great. It's a great movie. I don't even want to give away like the entire premise, but I kept reading that it did the multiverse better than Doctor Strange. The Multiverse of Madness, and it really does. It
I
really
finally
does.
get to see that.
You haven't seen that either?
The multiverse. I finally got to watch that this weekend,
Okay.
and it was. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, well, watch. I mean, are you on my? You don't have a Hulu account, but if you have Hulu, or however you can watch this movie, just watch the movie. It's amazing. Actually, it's been out for a while, so I could talk a little bit about it.
It's fine. I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah, it's just like it's this movie where basically, if you do, I'm gonna give you a really shitty premise of it. Okay, if you do like really random things in the universe that you're in, you can tap in to the life of the person of your own self in a different universe. And so your other person in a different universe could have a crazy skill set that you don't have, like a martial artist or a chef or, or whatever, whatever thing that you need. And so, Lily, you trying to say something?
Wasn't that the movie that starred that?
Michelle Yeoh?
That's familiar.
It stars Michelle Yeoh, who's a really fantastic martial artist from China, and she used to do a lot of movies with Jackie Chan.
I didn't see the movie. I saw the trailers for it, and I knew it looked cool, and I wanted to go see it. But the last movie I went to go see was the new Black Panther, and it had been months since I seen a movie before that.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to go see Smile. Smile was pretty good.
I haven't watched that, but
I haven't seen that yet. I think it's on Paramount Plus. I'm going to check that out this week.
It's probably one of my favorite psychological horrors.
Well,
horror movies don't scare me anymore.
Bring it back a little bit. I think that Old Ninja actually talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once earlier this year. And I remember I wanted to see it, but it was in the theaters. I was like, at the time, I was like, I'm not going to theaters. And now it's at home. I've been to theaters since, but now that I can watch it at home, it's definitely worth the watch. I think everybody listening to this podcast, it's right up your alley. Trust me, you're going to enjoy this fucking movie because it's not even just like the action elements, the sci-fi elements, but it's also like the actual core story is actually really, really good. And it seems like the way that it plays out and like wraps all up in like a pretty nice little bow at the end. It's really cool, especially if you got kids. Just saying.
Yeah, it's unexpected action movie that was philosophical, and I think Michelle Yeoh is I think to some degree kind of underrated because she's not it's not just an action star. She actually performs in martial arts, and she's one of the better actors. And calling an action calling an action star a good actor says a lot.
Yeah, she's in Star Trek. I think Discovery, right? That's the one with
Right to Discovery with
yeah,
what's her name from The Walking Dead.
Sonequa Martin Green. Yeah,
Yes.
who I got to be in the same space with a couple of maybe like 4 years ago. San Diego Comic Con at the boys premiere. She was sitting a couple rows behind me. It was pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wish I could have had time to like talk to her, but yeah. But
I don't know. I'm still jealous about you going to or being able to get that close to Scarlett Johansson.
What are you talking about?
At one of the Comic Cons you went to, you got to go to like the premiere of, or not necessarily a premiere, but you got to see Scarlett Johansson in person.
No, that wasn't Scarlett
That was
Johansson. I got to see a bunch of other actors. I think you're talking about Angelina Jolie, who I definitely got to be like within like arm's distance of, but not Scarlett Johansson.
I thought you had a picture of Scarlett Johansson.
No, it was for the Eternals. It was Angelina Jolie. God damn it, I'm forgetting her fucking name now. There's a bunch of other somebody that.
Angelina Jolie is one of the crazy kind of hot kind of people.
Yeah,
like
I'm talking about like that.
nice to look at, but like don't necessarily want for her to have a new vial of blood. So
Yeah.
For those who know, Lily's referencing her Angelina's first marriage when she was married to Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm.
Do you know she did the same thing with Brad Pitt?
Yep.
Oh, did she? Oh, that's fucking.
Yep.
That's weird. Sorry, I was thinking of
I don't get that. What was the point of someone else's blood in your vine wearing around your neck? That's never been explained.
I don't know. That's the mind of some crazy chicks. I'm not down with
Jesus.
the whole vials thing.
I can give you the dark joke now, even though you're my daughter.
I don't give a shit. Go ahead.
I mean, what's the point of holding around some cum inside of you until it becomes a person?
That's true.
There you go. So it's fucking weird. Just
at least
saying.
it becomes something. The blood doesn't become anything.
It depends on how much technology you have, I guess, which none of us have. Anyway, I was thinking of Selma Hayek. I was who for me is hotter than Angelina Jolie at this point in time.
Yeah, I agree, but I've been watching Selma and Angelina since late 1990s. They've been doing it for me for over 20 years.
Yeah, solid. Yeah.
But I'm mostly no, actually, Angelina not until late 90s and I think the mid 90s. Selma Hayek, Desperado.
Yeah, Desperado. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, and I actually watched that at home with both of my parents, and sometimes my mom kind of covers my eyes when something that she feels I'm not ready for about to happen, like whether it's a violent or nudity. But yeah, I don't know, maybe she's asleep or something, but she did not cover my eyes during that sex scene between Selma Hayek and Antonio Banderas.
Oh yeah. I was also thinking of From Dusk Till Dawn, which is another fantastic movie because she was in that as like a stripper.
Yeah, I think it's back on HBO Max.
It is.
Check that.
It is on HBO Max. Yeah. That's
I know it's exactly 3 columns down.
Yeah. Well, no, I pulled up because I was like trying to remember who the fuck did I see from the Eternals? Selma Hayek, and then it showed me like From Dusk Till Dawn what it's on. Lily, you ever watch From Dusk Till Dawn or?
I'm not a very big movie person.
What do you just named one that you just watched? How dare you?
I said I'm not a very big one. I didn't say that I didn't like movies at all. I'm not that chick from Pitch Perfect.
Then you could just say no. You haven't watched a movie. It's fine.
Well, it's like the 3rd movie you've asked so far, and I'm like, no, I haven't seen that.
It's okay that you haven't. These are movies that literally came out before you were born. So
was 10 Things I Hate About You, but I still love that movie.
You know what? I've never even watched that movie.
Yes, you have.
No,
We watched it together.
Did we?
Yeah.
Was I awake?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm sure you can do that whole sleeping with your eyes open thing.
I mean, I've slept while marching before, so.
Yeah, I've slept while working.
Literally.
As long as I stay standing, we're good.
Are you literally you're crocheting while we're doing this? All right.
This blanket's got to get done eventually.
All right, eventually.
I took a week off.
This question I'm doing it now. God damn it.
Yeah, keep lifting the weights.
I'm weightlifting. I gotta get up to my Captain America weight range.
You got to use your other arm, man. You picked up that with the same arm. Use your left arm now.
Well,
Come on.
I'm a Robbie.
Yeah, you got to work the imbalances out, man. I know how it is.
You don't want to have Quagmire's arm.
Yeah, this is what's cool about like getting like crappy injuries with my main side. So I'm right-handed and obviously I'm right-footed, but my injuries that I've had have always been on my right side, and so it makes me get my other side even better. So it's just cool.
It's all on your right side?
Yeah, my right foot just got injured, and then when I had my TFCC tear, it was my right hand. So yeah.
Huh. All my injuries are always on my left.
Lucky you.
I mean, I'm ambidextrous, so.
I mean,
to some degree.
Once you get injured on a certain side, you tend to become, you can use the other side, but it just takes a little bit. So, with the right foot thing sucked. The main thing that sucked is that I couldn't drive. And it's one of those injuries where, I couldn't use my foot for like a month and a half, like at all.
There's nothing wrong with being a passenger princess.
Yeah, there is, especially when you're a whole ass adult and you have stuff to do. Yeah, it sucks, but it's all good. Lesson learned.
I mean, at least it happened in like today's day, where almost everything comes to you. So, like, you don't have to go grocery shopping. You can just come to your house. You don't have to go to the gym.
I mean, if you have money, yes, and I have some money, so yeah, I can get groceries delivered. I have, stuff to work out with, but yeah. Oh, I thought you were thinking of like surgeries and stuff. That was like a whole dark hole.
That would be weird.
Yeah, like surgeries like before they had ether was fucking brutal. Have you guys ever like researched into that at all?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever looked into the history of Johnson & Johnson? Like from start to finish?
Some of it, yeah. It's not finished, so there's no start to finish. There's a start.
Start to now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like listening to so there's a podcast that I listen to called Dark History, and it's just the really fucked up history of companies and things that have happened throughout history, and one of them was on Johnson & Johnson. I'm just like, all right, well, I don't ever want to use baby powder ever, so I guess that's good.
Well, I mean, most of these, major American companies, they're built on thievery and like a lot of like really messed up, human deaths. Like
yeah, asbestos.
What'd you say? What were you, fella?
The Food and Drug Administration keeps approving the stuff that makes your condition worse.
Well, a lot of stuff, at least from my understanding, it's not approved, it's cleared, which is if two drugs or two products are similar towards each other, like very similar but have very small tweaks, it can get like approved. Not approved. I just said the word and I already forgot it.
Cleared?
Cleared. It can get cleared. If it's approved, it's something that's either had too dramatic of a change or it's an entirely new product. So let's say if you get like hip mesh, if there's two different brands of hip mesh and one of them came out first, that one got approved. But if the new one comes out and it's slightly different, like has like one different chemical or something in it, it can get cleared, but that one chemical can give you cancer.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I can break it down a little bit right now. So with medical devices, especially, they have classes of them, right? And so class 1 is low risk and no FDA approval is needed if there's low risk. Class 2, moderate risk, you need clearance. So only for moderate risk. And if you have a high risk, which is a class 3, that's when you need that's when you actually need FDA approval. So, yeah. It
The
depends
word,
on risk.
the word moderate has been like branded into my brain is to be associated with Crohn's disease. If you've had moderate to severe Crohn's disease within your lifetime or had family members, like those ads and commercials, like you can get money back for this.
That's why I hate commercials. So now we got the bat spider on the podcast.
A
Warfell's
flying
doing.
spider.
Yeah, he's doing the wardrobe change yet again. I wish Blue was here. He would definitely appreciate the hat.
But yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so yeah, he's Blue is going to be the diehard Batman fan. He's more of a Batman fan than I am.
He's more of a Batman
kudos.
fan than most people.
I think
Huh?
there's only one person that I know that's a bigger Batman fan than him.
Who?
One of the Menace.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Sorry. Actually, I don't know. I mean, well, yeah,
I
maybe.
do have the
Yeah.
Batman encyclopedia.
Yeah. I definitely read more Batman comics than both of them combined currently because I still read comics.
I actually just got the rest of the Saga series.
Oh well, not the rest. It's still ongoing, but yeah,
Well, the up to date via trade paperbacks.
awesome. This is a great series.
Yeah, I found a comic shop near me that actually it's an actual comic shop and not a comic
In toy shop.
showcase.
Yeah.
Because every place around me is a showcase, and I'm like, I don't want to buy a book from the 1950s. I want the newest Harley Quinn.
Got to read what is it? Punchline now too. So
I haven't been keeping up with that, on honest. Whoa, I just had a stroke.
no, you didn't. But anyway,
The words were not wording the way I wanted them to. No, I don't read a lot of comics. It's just mainly Saga right now, but I did just get a book on poisons. So
yeah. So Saga is like one of those books that I recommend to everybody, especially adults. Which I mean, it's weird for me to say. Still, you're an adult.
I'm 20 now. You can't even say I'm 19.
Yeah, you're a whole ass adult. You could almost drink legally.
Almost.
But yeah, Saga is like one of those gateway comics for adults because
God.
it's really well written. It's really good. Also, the Wicked and the Divine is really good up to a certain point. Warrior fellow, what'd you say?
What? I just I was about to say Saga, but I mean I'm on the second volume, and man, it's holding up, man. It's well, kind of raises the bar a bit from after reading the first volume and what they did with the second volume. I'm already looking forward to. I can't wait to start reading volume 3, and I'm not done with volume 2 yet.
So I brought book 1 to work so I could finish reading it during my breaks.
Oh god, like page 2 or 3 is just like.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of my coworkers evidently had been in my booth when I was on. Like I had to go to use the bathroom or something, and I came back, and evidently he had told one of my other coworkers that I was just rating straight up porn at work because the page with the 2 TVs fucking.
Oh shit. Keep talking. Sorry, I just got a low storage on my laptop, so I hope this doesn't like fuck shit up. So you just on top of it now.
I had to
got
sit there and like flip through every other page with my coworker to be like, I swear, if there's a storyline, you just picked a bad page to flip to, please.
Yeah, it's a great story. From the jump.
I mean, it didn't stop me from continuing reading at work. So
Yeah. No shit.
Well, there's a part in book 1 where I was reading it in a government building, waiting in line to pay my water bill, and I got flipped to one page, and I said out loud, "Oh shit!" and,
Yeah.
Close the page, and there was a people nearby me, and I said, "Sorry about that. Part of my language. I'm just reading this intense comic book. Don't share this with your kids."
Yeah.
this here pornographic novel.
Trying to see. So, what's crazy about that comic is if you're reading it now, it's kind of the best time because it came back from like a almost I want to say 4 or 5 year hiatus.
It was 4 years, and
Yeah.
the day I went into the comic shop was the day, or the day I went into this comic shop for the first time was the day that it came back, and I was like, "Oh right, this exists again. Give me the first three volumes."
Yeah, so pardon like the noises you're hearing in the background. This is me like opening up my comic book. Like, so I get my comic books delivered now. Sorry for the noise.
I gotta go
From
to
my
Ann
old
Arbor.
comic shop in shout out to the comic shop in San Leandro. They started mailing me comics, and the reason I bring that up is because I think they're kind of still on a they had a solid like month to month run for like a number of months, but now it dropped off, and I'm like, where's the next Saga comic? Like, what the fuck? It's been like at least 2-3 months now. And I'm trying to see if my comic drop from 2 weeks ago has a new Saga comic because I didn't look it up because I've had a lot of shit going on. And they just messaged me today about like the latest my latest comic delivery, and I never asked them like what's in it. It's just like they know what I want in my normal like draw. Sorry for the noise. And now I'm trying to see if there's a new Saga comic in this, because if it is, the first thing I'm gonna read tomorrow is that.
I just got the 10th volume this weekend.
There's 10 volumes.
There's 10
Of, like,
volumes in the
trades?
trade paperbacks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can believe it.
Yeah, I went into the comic shop looking for a Christmas gift for my D&D friend, and I got that. I almost forgot to get that, but I ended up getting a book on poisons, the rest of the Saga trade paperbacks,
What do
and
you
then
have a book on poisons? You brought it up twice now.
it's a really good book. It's more or less, I think it's called Botanicals and Poisons. Hold on, let me go grab it real quick. But it's basically telling you what to eat and what not to eat in the
I
wilderness.
gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. That makes more sense. I can just read the receipt of like what I got from 2 weeks ago. See if Saga is on here. And this is literally $125 worth of comics. And I don't see Saga on here. This is fucking sad. Really sad. But Gargoyles is in this one, which is great.
But regardless, yeah, is it based on the 1990s cartoon?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you happen to stop by a comic shop sometime soon, pick up the latest Gargoyles comic.
yeah. When I started reading that, all the voices that I will mention are the cast members from the series. Man.
Yeah. I remember like because at the time, there was Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm pretty sure was still on, and it was like I was hearing like cast members from Star Trek: The Next Generation in that show, and I was like, this is amazing. Let me see if I have it in this one. Where is Gargoyles?
Yeah. I just got a little
yeah, here it is.
I named it Gwyneth.
So here it is. If you go to a comic shop and you see this one right here, this is Gargoyles.
Oh, okay.
I loved that show.
It's a great show. You know why the show was great? Is because it secretly taught you about Shakespeare, and it's this is a Dynamite comic, so it's a independent, well, sort of independent, not really. It's not DC or Marvel.
And so, Cronus, after reading the Gargoyles comment, do you think it has more edgy content than the TV series?
I haven't read it. I literally just opened up the box right now. This is a box from 2 weeks ago that I haven't had a chance to like go through and read yet because I had a lot of stuff going on. But I'm gonna read it hopefully within the next week, probably tomorrow.
Go
ahead.
That's how it be like.
Sorry. Lily, what's that? What's that you're holding?
Yeah, what is that?
Huh?
What is that?
This is the book that I got. This is the botanical curses and poisons.
Curses.
I like the curses. But like the first page says like this is for educational purposes, but don't take it as serious.
Oh, they actually put a disclaimer on there. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, there's a page on witching herbs. I liked it. Thought it was cool.
That's cool. It's a nice looking book.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Yeah.
It goes with the very gothic vibe that I have going on in my living room. So,
In your life, okay.
living room?
Life.
I'm not that bad.
You usually wear
Yeah.
black a lot.
I have eyebrows. I'm not goth.
Do you listen to death metal rock?
I do.
Okay, that's not fair.
Yeah. I think she
Hey,
gets the death metal from me. So yeah.
Dev, are you guys fans of the Netflix anime Grad School?
A great, yeah.
Agretsuko?
Yeah, I need to watch more of it, but yeah, I am. I'm a huge fan of Metalocalypse from Adult Swim.
Opera. So I met opera. I met someone who worked at Pink Panthers. Think her name was Lily. I'm guessing that's her real name. No, wait. Audrey. Audrey. Yeah, she met her at Fremont and
Yeah.
Cupertino, and then when
She's got the Agretzko. Yeah.
I've got the hippo from
yeah, yeah. That's the only
Scattered
time that's the only time I listen to death metal because I gotta understand what the singer is saying. Definitely singing.
Yeah.
In real life.
He's definitely screaming. Yeah.
It depends on the kind of metal, because I listen to more of metalcore, and there's a band that I listen to. It's called Motionless in White, and it's kind of like if screamo music met love songs, and it's like for some of their music, like their newest hit right now, Masterpiece. It's basically saying, I'm sorry, I can't take back all the tears that I caused you, but I'm trying my best. But it depends on the type of music, and if you can get into it, you can hear the meaning behind the music on some songs. Then there's songs like Fan Song by Metalocalypse, where it's just kind of a fuck you.
I love that song. It's a great song.
It is a good song. I think Awaken would probably be one of my favorites.
Were they trying to resurrect Mr. Kraken? Yeah. If y'all had any doubts about me listening to Metalocalypse, that answers your question about Awaken, and also about Fan Song. It's if I could, it's about taxes, right? Oh, I'm trying to remember the hook.
It gives us something to hate.
Yeah. No. I remember that part, but there's like a part about like if I could kill you to like reduce my taxes. That's like part of that's like one of the lyrics. It's like it was so hilarious to me. God damn it, I can remember it now.
A comedic metal band.
Yeah. It's definitely like a parody metal band.
It's hilarious. I love the episode where they talk about how all of them have daddy issues except for the lead singer, and he's like, I fucking love my dad.
Yeah, probably the only lead singer of a death metal band that does not hate his father.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say for sure. I'm not a lead singer in a metal band.
And you don't hate me, right? I mean, Jesus.
I think that was implied.
I watched a couple episodes. I gotta get more into it. I was surrounded by a then a Pink Panthers barista Audrey. She told me about that after I turned her on to the Netflix anime Grad School.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well,
yeah, anime.
I think. Wait. Oh, you want to talk about some fucking Chainsaw Man?
Yes, the fuck I do.
All right, because that's the last thing we got to do. Because yeah, are you watching it too, Warrior Fella? You watching Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, I got it on VR Verve or whatever.
Same.
Yeah, that. Oh man, I don't automatically fall in love with things. I went through the whole season, but I'm looking forward to every week of the current season, man. Just they just come out. Right now, it's I think it's ascending. It's not a descending and crashing, but it's ascending with the story and the action.
I'm actually kind of sad though because next week is the the last one.
Oh, so the season 1 finale
Yeah,
or grand,
I don't know if it's the
yeah,
season
yeah.
or the
That's
series. It's
it.
got to be the season because I mean I want to see the Gun Devil die eventually, but I think it's probably the season finale. But it's definitely gonna be done next Tuesday, which is very sad for me because I'm just saying Denji he needs some ass or something. I mean, like what's going on here?
Hey, he's a titties man. I think we've made this clear.
No, he's an everything man now. He's not. It's not even just like once Makima put his finger in her mouth, like he was like, oh, like this is a thing now.
I think
So
he's just a Makima person.
no,
Like,
he's
I mean,
yeah, but I mean he wants all of her. So
I mean,
yeah,
Well,
the one his first kiss ended in vomit. So like,
that would scar him for the rest of his life.
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think it's just a her thing now. Although I would like to see her in action more.
Oh well, did you watch yesterday's episode? Was it yesterday? Today's
Yes,
Wednesday, right?
it
Yeah.
was.
Did you watch
I did
yesterday?
watch it. Yes,
Okay, so yeah, she's terrifying.
and I love it.
I mean, even like when she actually showed like I guess one of her powers, which was terrifying. But when she went to go meet with Les, well, she does something in like yesterday's episode. I can't spoil it because it was just yesterday. 48-hour rule. That is also terrifying. She does not give a single fuck.
No, she
So
does not.
yeah, yeah. I I love the new teacher.
It's a
Um,
necessary evil.
that teacher guy, I forget his name, Kish, some with a K, but he does not mess around. He's all about
No,
like he's all about trying to break his toys. And Power and Denji are his toys for right now. And he kills them on a regular basis because he doesn't care because he can bring them back with a sack of blood.
I mean, at least he's found something that he not can't kill, because obviously he can kill them, but a never-ending punching bag.
Yeah, but also what I find weird, I don't know if you noticed this in that episode, is that Denji never uses his chainsaws.
Yeah, no, I was wondering why. I think it was just because he only uses his chainsaws because it takes up so much blood. I think it's because he only uses his chainsaws when it's I know they're actually gonna kill me for real, and not just bring me back with a couple of sips of that red good stuff.
Well, I think he only uses it honestly against devils, and that's it.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
like so far he's only used it against devils and zombies. Well, actually,
I mean,
but that was a devil there, so yeah, only
yeah,
against devils. Oh, your cat
okay,
just did something. All right.
yeah, he jumped off. This is what he's been carrying around and like pretending is his chew toy
She's
is a
holding a
little
spider. Yeah.
rubber spider with a string that I don't know where that came from. He's not gonna play fetch for 20 minutes, so
It's a
should I
cat,
touch
so
it?
probably never.
Really? Bring it back.
I can't see your cat, so I have no idea what they're doing.
Drop it. Drop it. Thank you.
Still a cat though. It's terrible.
Plays fetch.
Doesn't make it any cooler.
It's cool that he came built like that. I didn't train him to do that.
No.
I just discovered that one day.
Your
Drop
cat
it.
could have been built like a dog, with no possibility of
Hey,
what is
sorry.
that fucking toxoplasmia? You know, that's the thing with cats.
I mean, he was a barn cat, so
So probably definitely got it. All right. Toxoplasmosis. It's a thing.
And, think we
I'm sure there's. Could you stop? Thank you. Batting my hand doesn't get me through it faster. Now it gets his exercising because he hates going outdoors. And well, I don't have to move, so he's getting pretty good about dropping it right in my hand, though. As long as I'm paying attention to him when he does it.
well, what kind of cat does not like going outdoors?
I don't know, but like if I hold him when I'm walking outside, he'll just scratch the fuck out of me until he can get back inside. So I don't have to worry about keeping the door all the way shut when I bring in groceries. It's quite nice.
All right, we're gonna have to end the podcast pretty soon because I gotta use the bathroom and I gotta edit the podcast. So real quick, I gotta ask both of you before we end it. Give me one of your favorite segments of the podcast that we've ever had. Like one of the funniest things you ever listened to on the podcast.
The mustard. Mustard in
Mustard?
the dick hole.
The what?
You talked about mustard, someone getting mustard on their dick once. And it was fucking hilarious. I was talking about, you guys were talking about a hike.
On a hike?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta look that one up. It definitely wasn't me because I never got mustard on my dick before. So
No, it was in reference to one of you guys going on a hike. And I was at work while listening to it and had to like try not to buckle laughing. But,
okay,
yeah.
warrior fella.
I guess talking about Chainsaw Man, we just the first. This is only the first season. It's not over yet, and it's already a phenomenon to us, and how we're kind of how we're letting the Denji character kind of grow on us, and we've grown us so much that we're calling him that he's becoming a man. He's only 16 years old.
Yeah, I think when it comes to anime, we all kind of like passively pretend that we're not talking about sort of pedophilia, but definitely pedophilia. So yeah.
Well, with anime, it's weird because somebody can look 12 and be 5,000 years old, or be 40.
Yeah. I remember like when I watched Bleach, and it's like they try to say like they're all like in high school years, but it's like, bro, I mean, Chad is like a grown ass man.
No.
You know.
Anime is a weird line to walk down. It's not a straight line. It's jagged as fuck.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, I got to use the bathroom and then edit the podcast. So thank you both for saving the pod. Warrior fella, you're like 2 for 2 now. Saving the podcast once again because I think this is the first this year would have missed a whole bunch of podcasts. We've missed the most ever since we've been doing this, and I'm trying to stop that however I can. So unless I'm literally not here or can't do the podcast, I'm gonna try way more hard to do a live stream every Wednesday, even if the rest of the cast isn't here. So whether just me bullshitting or just doing like a clip show or whatever, like we're gonna keep doing content. So
Content.
All right, then I'll do my best to log on and join the podcast and save it for that week and for following weeks. Yeah.
And so you're gonna do your typical. What's your what do you always say when the podcast ends?
Don't want to end it without saying this. See you, space cowboy. See you, space cowgirl.
There we go. You know what's funny is that I actually watched like a video today from an older composer that was breaking down the intro song to Cowboy Bebop, Tanks. I'm sorry, Tank by I think it's the shit. What was the name of the
Seatbelts?
Yes, the Seatbelts. Yeah. So you know, that's like one of the greatest anime intros of all time.
I have a Cowboy Bebop wallet.
Oh yeah. It's a great show. All right, my lovely oldest daughter. This is your time for your outro.
I don't know what to do.
I mean,
pass it off.
You say some words in a combination to make a sentence.
I don't wanna.
You don't want to? Okay, that's your. Okay. You got to work on that, kid.
I was not prepared. All right.
I mean, you're prepared to come on the podcast. I asked if you want to join. You join. Do you have words of wisdom for anybody out there?
Wisdom? I'm 20. I ain't got that shit yet.
There's plenty of folks younger than you that don't know don't have your knowledge.
Stay safe. Bad choices make good stories, but don't intentionally make said bad choices.
There you go. All right.
I think that works.
All right. And I will see all of you virtually next week. Thanks for everybody for listening. I appreciate it. I'm out this bitch.